Hello, and welcome to Underpaid Gamers Podcast. My name is Tony. I am here with my friend and colleague, Justin.
That's me!
I just did what you normally say.
I know, that's exactly what I say every time.
Today, we have on our table some news about Uncharted, a Gambit news, a little Gambit news for you.
Ooh.
Not a little tidbit of news, but the movie Gambit. We have some news about that.
Yes.
Star Wars stuff.
Mm-hmm. My favorite.
We're going to talk about Leo DiCaprio.
That's right.
And we have a write-in.
Wait, Channing Tatum or Leonardo? Oh, wait, Leonardo's such a better actor. That's why we're talking about him today.
That doesn't make any sense. Here's the song. The Uncharted story was changed 100% after Neil Druckerman and his partner, I can't remember his name right now, joined on.
At which point did it change? During development?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Like,
I don't know if this was like the re-release that you're playing through right now. The story is 100% different. In which case, I'd be really confused.
The Uncharted 4 story.
That makes sense.
The team that was working on Uncharted 4 had worked on it for like 8 months. They had filmed 8 months for it because he used motion capture.
Oh.
And then Neil Druckerman and his buddy came on, and they're like, "We're the directors now.
Would you say
I'm the captain now."
Would you say that they uncharted it?
Wow.
They took it and uncharted it. It's pretty good, right? That was the best joke I've had to this point.
Anyway, Neil and his buddy have been working on Uncharted since the beginning. They just weren't directors. They were like animated directors and things like that. They went on to... They're the ones behind The Last of Us. They were the co-directors of The Last of Us.
Oh, I love these people.
So they went to Uncharted 4 and they kind of rewrote the whole thing.
Oh, so we're talking about Uncharted 4 in
Yes.
this. I thought you were talking about the old ones.
No.
Okay.
I said Uncharted 4 like 6 times.
Whoops.
Anyway,
wow,
normally things come along like this and it says things have been changed 100%. You don't expect a lot of things from them. But with these two guys, I think it's going to be better that they changed it. I think they know what they're doing.
I'm excited for this. I am almost done with 2. I'm further than we were last time we talked, which was only a few days ago.
Yes.
And I am just so excited.
Before?
Yes. I mean, the part I'm in 2, like, the difficulty just spiked
It's
really hard on Uncharted 2. But, man, I cannot wait. I just, like, want to skip 3 and play 4. But maybe I shouldn't. You have way more experience than me with that, so I don't know if 3...
Probably not. I assume, because, like in 2, there are some callbacks to 1.
Mm-hmm.
3, there's callbacks to 1 and 2. Okay. And I assume 4 is going to be callbacks to all 3 of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So in order to know everything,
I should.
work.
I should.
Where are you in 2 right now?
I'm assuming I'm at the end of the monastery part. I'm at like 82%.
So you're on the train?
I'm past the train.
There's a train at the very beginning, and then there's a train again after you fight the tank.
Right.
And you had to shoot down the helicopter?
I've shot down a helicopter.
Was that hard for you?
No.
I had difficulty when I first played Uncharted 2 with a helicopter.
I didn't have trouble with that part. I've had trouble at different parts in the game, but not that one.
Where are you now, though?
Right now...
You're at the end of the monastery?
I'm at the end of the monastery, and I'm like... I go into this area, and there's these 2 dudes with miniguns at the bottom, and a bunch of soldiers, and I just saw some of those Yeti things. Mm-hmm. They're running around the whole place, and I tried to sneakily take out the 2 minigun guys with some RPGs that I had, but I tried, and I failed.
Are you still in the Alps?
Them.
The snowy Alps?
I am still in the snowy Alps.
Okay. Trying to figure out where you are.
So, I'm pretty close to the end. Schaefer, the old Nazi dude, just passed away. Spoiler alert from a game.
He's the guy that's like hiding in the Himalayas.
Yes, he's the old dude. So he just died, and he told us, and me and Elena split up. It was dangerous. I don't know. So I'm just like running around getting killed and shot at by
everything.
Soldiers, and I'm assuming. I mean, I haven't been attacked by the Yetis again yet. At least in the monastery, I haven't been attacked yet, but I'm assuming I'm going to get attacked because they're like foreshadowing it like crazy right now.
Oh yeah.
I turn the corner, and then it's got like the up button thing where you like look and see what's going on. And every time I turn the corner, like a Yeti's jumping across the roof or something. So I'm like, I'm just like not looking forward to it because every time I fought them up to this point, like I haven't been able to kill them.
Dude, they're hard. What difficulty are you playing on? Normal?
Yeah, I think so.
That's cool. Gambit news.
Gambit, tell me about it.
The Gambit movie has officially been pushed back without a release date. So the one that Channing Tatum was in. Fox has announced that there's going to be 2 new movie releases this year. One where the Gambit movie was officially going to be released, and one in January. This coming January 2017. I call it this year because it's within 365 days. Everyone expects one of these to be another Deadpool movie. So there's one October 6th, a release scheduled for Fox movies, and there's one January 12th.
Interesting.
They think January 12th
That's
is
a pretty
be
big
Daredevil. Or Deadpool.
That's a pretty quick turnaround.
It is.
For Deadpool.
It is. I don't know what to expect with that. I don't know what they're going to... The October movie is going to be.
Yeah, I don't know either.
People... Now that Deadpool came out, people are like, oh my gosh, Fox is so good at making Marvel movies. And they're not. The X-Men movies
they're definitely
okay.
They're on an uptrend, but they've been pretty bad for a while, I'd say.
Yeah, the recent X-Men movies are okay. The old ones are bad.
The very first one I liked,
Fantastic
second one I
Four.
liked, but man, after the second one, I was like, this all sucks.
Yeah, but what about the new trilogy, the X-Men trilogy?
The new ones,
first-class
I'm
trilogy?
like, it's bringing my expectations higher now. Like,
Yeah.
I've enjoyed the newer stuff, but like the third X-Men,
The Last Stand,
I didn't like The Last Stand.
and all the Wolverine movies.
The origin stories, I was so excited for the origins, and then it wasn't that great.
And then they made one, and they're like, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I know. I was like, this is a really cool concept, but then it wasn't good.
They did all the Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah.
Which aren't good. Well, the first two are okay. The second one is the last one's not good.
I think I've only seen the first Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Like the older ones. I thought it was alright.
They're goofy.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
Chris
Fox,
Evans is in it, right?
Yes.
He was the
Human Torch.
Yeah, Human Torch.
Fox movies, they have more worse movies than they have good movies. Considering that Deadpool is definitely a good movie from them.
Yeah.
And the two X-Men movies we've seen are good from them, if we count them as good.
Days of Future Past.
And First Class.
First Class, yeah.
Apocalypse will probably be good. We'll see that here
We'll be able
this
to
year.
decide, yeah.
But I still think they have more outnumbering bad movies than they have good movies. So it's weird that people are super pumped for these two rivals in October and January.
We'll see what happens. Well, I mean, should we be optimistic? Should we be pessimistic? How do you think we should
I think
approach
we should be realistic.
Realistic?
Like I normally am.
Okay. So, not too high, not too low.
The next Deadpool movie I have high expectations for.
Okay.
So when they announce one, I'll be like, that's cool. I'm excited for that.
All right.
If they go off the wall and announce something else that I don't know about, then I'm going to be a little pessimistic about it, I guess. Because they don't have a good track record with new properties.
I was going to say, so people are saying that Fox is better at Marvel movies than Disney?
No, they're just saying that they're better at Marvel movies.
I was going to say, because
Disney
is like consistently good.
Right.
If not great, but they're good consistently.
The only bad Disney Marvel movie I can think of is like Iron Man 3. And that's all I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah. And even that is better than some of the Fox movies.
Yeah. Than most of the Fox movies.
I would say so. Like, yeah. Dang. All right.
The Fallout 4 Season Pass.
Yes.
Today is the last day you can buy it for the $30 price mark.
Oh my gosh, I need to go buy it today.
Tomorrow, March 1st, it's kicking up $20 to $50.
Why is that the case?
I was going to ask you, why do you think they're selling it for $30 beforehand and the $50 afterwards?
Trying to get people to buy it now?
You think people are trying to get to buy it, or they think that... I don't know. I mean, I appreciate it, because they're, like, putting out news and telling people, like, this is the last day you can buy it for $30.
I've been hearing this for a while, too, so I just haven't seen the date until right now.
March 1st.
Now I gotta go buy it after we're done.
Yeah.
Oh, this is easy, though, because we're going to Doba.
We're going to the Qdoba, which is better than Chipotle.
That's right. That queso, yo!
Ooh.
That's what I'm talking about.
Extras aren't extra.
Extras aren't extra at Qdoba.
I love Qdoba.
Man.
It's like the Subway of down south.
It really is so good.
Anyways, I like that they have the Fallout 4 Season Pass for $30 and then they're going to increase it to $50. I don't care that they're increasing it. I mean, I could deal without that. But the fact that they had it cheaper and now they're like, well, you missed your chance, now it's $50.
Yeah, well, I definitely don't like that they're raising the price, but I don't think we can count it against them because of how open they've been about it.
They've been super open. That's what I'm saying.
I've seen it on like every gaming website. So
I enjoy it.
If you miss out on the $30, it's your fault.
Yeah, right. I assume it's one of those things where you can buy the DLC for like $10 too.
Yeah. Individually.
Or $15 or something like that individually.
Yeah.
Which is normally how I do like Season Pass DLCs. I don't want all the... The first and only time I've ever bought a Season Pass was for Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
And that was on PS3, and they had the deal with Xbox where they got their maps and everything like a month in advance.
Yeah.
So the last DLC for Black Ops 2 came out like a month before the next Call of Duty game. So I'm like, I didn't get a lot of playtime with it.
Yeah.
Just because the new game was coming out. So I'm like, well, this is kind of a waste. I could have just wasted $10.
Up to this point, I've not bought any season passes before.
Of anything.
I've always just bought them individually because sometimes I'm done with the game when the DLC comes out and I just don't want to play it anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Except for Fallout.
Except for Fallout 4, I'm probably going to 100% it because I pretty much destroyed that game and will continue to destroy that game.
Oh, here's a question.
Until the end.
Are the Vault Tech lunch boxes important for any reason?
No.
Without spoiling me?
No.
Because I see them all around and I always pick
And you
them up.
open them and then the confetti goes beep.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those like Easter eggs.
Oh, okay.
It's
Because I've literally collected every single one.
You have?
Yeah, I thought maybe it was like a trophy.
You should
or someone wants them.
make like shelving units in one of your houses and
just
just like every single one.
That's funny.
I've seen people do that with money. They like load something full of money and then blow it up and just watch it rain money.
Like
They'll put,
caps?
No, like the pre-war money. They'll collect all of it, like as much as I can, and then just like explode it, and it's like raining money.
What do they put it in? Like a bucket? Do they just drop it into a bucket or something?
No, a bucket's not big enough. The thing I saw was like a car. They put it in like the trunk of one of the broken down cars, and then just blew it up, and then it just rained money.
That's funny.
It was great. It was one of those like 20-second videos. It was funny.
Oh yeah. Titanfall 2 advertisements have been at GameStop. However, there is no official release date or announcement that Titanfall 2 is coming.
Yeah, I've been hearing a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Of Titanfall?
Yeah. Knew another one's coming out.
They're making another one. It's going to be cross-platform, so instead of just Xbox One. I also heard that they aren't going to have like bots on the map anymore. It's just going to be PvP.
Okay.
Titanfall 1 did not do like it sold really well, but did not last more than like a month and a half.
It had a really cool concept that people all like jumped on, but
Yeah.
it didn't endure. jumped on the wall. See what I did there? That was not intentional.
I know it wasn't.
I'm never intentional with puns. They just happen, and then people laugh, and I'm like, yeah, I meant to do that.
Yeah, so I don't know. If it looks good and they fix the issues they had, I might get Titanfall 2. But one of the issues that I didn't like about it was the fact that everybody got a tie-in at like the 2-minute mark. So like in Call of Duty, if you want to get a kill streak or you want to get something super powerful, you have to work for it.
You gotta perform.
Yeah, but in Titanfall 2, everyone gets tie-ins, and they had super huge maps and they had bots all over the place to give the impression that they were actually fighting a bigger war than it was. Mm-hmm. Also, there was no campaign. There was no single player.
True. Is there going to be single player in 2?
I've heard they've added a single player because it looks like it has a good story. Like, you have these giant mechs that come out of, like, a satellite type thing and land on the battlefield, and it's in the future, and there's all these different clans and gangs.
I mean, I always enjoy single player on shooters. I know a lot of people think that they're dumb and antiquated, that there'd be single player.
Yeah.
But I always enjoy that. It's always been a part of the game for me since, like, the original... Well, I guess Call of Duty 2 was the first one I had.
Yeah.
Like, I loved the stories. Like, that was... I played it
There's some good stories.
It was history, you know...
Call of
like,
Duty 2, Big Red 1...
Oh, yeah.
Had a great story, and I still remember when Brooklyn died. And I'm still sad about it.
Yeah.
But that was so long ago.
I know. But even if the single player is not even that great, I just always play through it. Like, I've always finished it. And all the Call of Duty, all the shooters I play.
I didn't play through all the campaign on Call of Duty Ghosts. I had to stop once you got to the dog level. I'm like, this is dumb. And then Advanced Warfare had a great story, great campaign. Yep. Black Ops 3, you've said, has a really good campaign. I stopped playing once you got your own base of operations. I stopped.
Yep. I enjoyed Black Ops 3 a lot.
Black
Ops 2 was really good. Mm-hmm. Black Ops 1 was really good.
Black Ops 1 was so confusing.
Oh my gosh. I was like, I loved the complexity of it. Mm-hmm. It was fun.
People forget that Call of Duty has a really good story.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2, if I remember right, had a pretty good story. Or was it the first? Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 1, it had a good one too. I thought. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. No Russian is the mission I think of in Modern Warfare 2. That's the airport mission.
Yes.
And then Modern Warfare 3 had a campaign. I remember because I worked at Family Video when Modern Warfare 3 was coming out.
Yeah. I skipped that one, so I can't talk about it.
No. Well, when you work at a game place, a game rental place,
yes.
all the discs are open anyway, so you get to take them home. Like, let's say Black Ops, or let's say Modern Warfare 3 came out on a Tuesday. Yep. We would get a shipment of the discs on like Friday. So my boss would just let me take it home. Me and my buddy, Daddy Roarbucks.
That's right.
We played through the whole campaign in like 2 nights.
I remember this. I was so mad.
And then you were gone like for the weekend or something.
I know, but it was so everybody I think everybody was jealous of that. And I remember you got the early access, and I was like, that's so dumb that he gets early access. That's so stupid.
Anybody could have played.
That's right.
We should have had a big LAN tournament with him, but we didn't. But we played through the whole campaign and gave it back before Tuesday, so I didn't have to pay for it or anything, and I rented it for free.
Nice.
So I guess it's pretty cool. Super Hot, the game.
So, wait, what's Super Hot, Tony?
The Super Hot is a FPS on PC now. It used to be a Flash game, I think. That's when I played it, where your character, time in this game only moves when you move. So whether you move your feet, whether you move your hands, whether you look around, that's when time moves. So however fast you move, I don't think it matters. It's just the fact that you move and time moves. So like, you just saw it.
Yeah, we just watched a video of it, and it's like a really cool concept, man. It's like you shoot the gun, and then you stop moving, and it pauses, and then it has like a little trail behind the bullet, so you can kind of
very Matrixy.
Yeah, very Matrixy. The art style makes you be able to see everything pretty easily, so you can kind of keep track of your bullets and plan out your path.
Yeah, I played it. This is the first time you've seen it. I played it a long time ago when it first surfaced on just online, and now they have a Kickstarter for it, and I think they finally got to the point where it's going to be on PC. But it was super fun. Like, just time only moving when you move is a cool concept. Like, it was hard, and it was really hard to get used to. Because, like, in most other shooters, you're like...
You're trying to be fast.
You move, and this time it was like, you stop, you aim, you shoot, and then you have bullets coming at you, so you have to move out of the way. But your bullet still travels from where you used to be.
Yeah. It's just interesting. I think it's one of those games that you should try out.
Yeah.
You should play at least once. Fun. So, the Oscars.
The Oscars.
Yesterday,
the Oscars.
I did not watch it, though I really wanted to.
I didn't watch it either. I kept track of it on Twitter when I was playing Fallout.
Yep, I was Googling it at the end. I was at a function, so once the function was over, I Googled it on my phone, and I was like, ooh, I wonder who won. And my only prediction I had was wrong, so I didn't do a very good job.
What was your prediction?
My prediction was that the best original soundtrack or the best sound score or something was going to go to Star Wars. Because I thought John Williams...
He got nominated. He's been nominated for 50 things.
Yeah, he's ridiculously good.
And he's only won 5. Yeah. Not only. 5 Oscars is a lot. But he has a...
Right.
But he's been nominated for 50.
Being nominated alone is an honor, obviously. Right? I would say.
John Williams is awesome.
John Williams is great. I thought he had it hands down.
I don't know, because some of the Star Wars music is very reminiscent of the old Star Wars.
True.
So it's kind of like, I've heard this before.
Right. And I feel like that might be the reason that he didn't get it.
Do you remember
even though it's original, yes.
Was it Mad Max?
It was Mad Max Fury Road.
They
ran away with a lot of it.
They got 6 awards last time I checked.
Yes, they did.
I need to watch it again, because I wasn't that impressed with it, but I think if I watch it again, I'll be like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw it 3 times in theaters.
I know you did.
And then I watched it 3 weeks ago. Somebody came over and we went to Redbox, I think. And
was it in Redbox then?
I think it was. We did.
I'm going to have to watch it again.
It's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
My man, Leo DiCaprio.
The dude himself.
Finally.
Congratulations, Leo. I know you listen to our podcast.
Thanks, Leo.
This is us to you.
Mr. DiCaprio.
Congratulations.
I appreciate you. Best Actor. Finally. After having
6 nominations,
incredible
performances.
Incredible performances beforehand.
I believe this was his 6th nomination.
It might have been. I watched a video. His very first nomination was when he was 19.
Yeah.
And he played a Boy Scout in a movie.
What's it called? I know
Boy's Life or something like that.
Yeah.
Or The Boy's Life or something like that. And then he was also nominated for Titanic, for The Departed, for Django Unchained.
Yep.
And for... I can't remember the last one.
Great Gatsby?
No. Oh, Wolf of Wall Street.
There it is, yeah.
And then, of course, The Revenant, which he won. Man, he deserves it.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Isn't he so good?
On our previous podcast where we talked about The Revenant, we went through like all the crap he had to go through just to record that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like half the stuff he went through was him actually going through. It wasn't like fake. Like, he did that.
Yeah. Well, his director got an award, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was his first movie, but...
It was pretty legit.
Mad Max Fury Road got an Oscar for editing.
Yep.
And that was the first movie that woman has ever edited.
Wow.
She got an award for it.
That's awesome. She's got a good career ahead of her.
She's 1 for 1 right now, so that's pretty good.
1 for 1.
Anyways, Oscars were fun. Sweet. I was just paying attention on Twitter.
Yeah.
You have some news about the HoloLens?
Yeah, so Microsoft a while ago announced their foray into a new type of technology.
Ooh, foray.
Yes. Most of the news about video games has been following around VR, virtual reality.
Virtual reality.
Where you like sit and you see in a different reality. It's not the physical realm, but like a video game or something. What Microsoft is doing is developing something called HoloLens, which is augmented reality, which is different because it takes what exists and adds to it instead of just replacing with like a video game or like a new realm. So
it has like scanners on the front.
Yeah, essentially. You see through it. The lens itself, or your glasses itself, like you see through it. It's transparent, but then it adds stuff on top of it, on top of what you see.
Okay.
And so I think there are 6 apps that are working with it right now, and you can essentially what you can do is you can sit on your couch and you can project your TV or YouTube on the wall. And
Is it actually projecting on the
wall? It doesn't actually project on the wall.
You look at it.
But it lines up in your visor as on the wall. And I know they have Skype with it too now. They've got like a 3D type.
Is it Xbox compatible?
Probably. I'm not surprised. You can there's like a 3D studio, so you can create 3D art.
Is this like how Iron Man uses his workshop?
Yes.
So you can move things with your hands?
Essentially.
And
that's pretty much exactly what it's supposed to be, except for probably not going to work nearly as well.
Well,
it's also the first iteration of it. So.
That's right.
It is designed right now. I think the marketing for it is really for the high-end tech geeks because it's $4,000.
$4,000 hairs?
$4,000. It's a lot of money.
It is a lot. When is it coming out?
It's coming out soon. I don't have a specific date.
This year?
It's coming out, I believe it's coming out this year.
Interesting. Well, VR is coming out this year too.
Yeah.
It's supposed to. This fall.
I've seen they have the thing designed, and I've seen people wear it, I believe, but I think it's prototypes. So I believe it's coming out this year. I'm not 100% sure right now. I can look it up later and check.
So when GTA 5 came out for the PS4 for this current gen of consoles, they added a first person mode. Everyone said that made the game super different from what it originally was.
Yeah.
If they came out with a Fallout 4 game for virtual reality, would you play through the whole game again? Virtual reality?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I feel like it would be completely different. And also, you wouldn't be able to see your character in third person.
True.
Not that it matters. You don't play in third person. My old roommate used to play in third person. He's insane. Why would you ever do that?
Yeah, occasionally I'd go into third person. There's some situations just to see what, jumping around, if I'm bored running across the map, I'd do third person sometimes. And occasionally I'd fight in third person just to see what it looks like, but I would say 90% of my time was spent first.
Yeah.
But I might. I would definitely try it or boot up my load in that. Run around the wastes a little bit. What's so funny? I boot up my load.
Boot up my load.
Boot up my save file. My level 55, level 60. So that's that.
That's that.
This weekend. Segueing back to our very first news point. Uncharted.
Oh yeah.
4.
Multiplayer.
Beta. Is open.
This weekend.
So if you're interested in that, check it out. This weekend. Open beta.
Interesting. You've never played the multiplayer. Multiplayer. Did you play the multiplayer in The Last of Us?
I did very briefly.
It's very different.
I didn't like it, so I didn't play it.
The Last of Us takes a lot to get used to. Uncharted is very similar to how you play in the game. So you can climb up on things, you can jump over things, you can swing, do all this stuff. You use the same game. You use the same guns and everything. You still switch over shoulder view, which helps when you're looking around a wall.
Yeah.
I had some fun with it. I think in Uncharted 2, it was essentially just a bare bones, you have these guns, you pick them up, and you shoot people with them. In Uncharted 3, they more had a class system. Kind of like how Battlefield and Call of Duty is doing now.
Okay.
And even Battlefront, where you go in with specific weapon sets.
Yeah.
Uncharted 4, they've already had a closed beta. I'm interested to see. I might play the open beta this weekend. We'll see what happens.
You'll find out next week.
I'll find out. You'll find out. The listeners will find out.
They will find out next week. I will find out sooner, probably.
Star Wars
news. So, some little tidbits here and there. Rogue One, it has been announced, and I quote, nearly done filming.
Ooh.
That is the announcement, so they should be in the editing phase here shortly. Episode 9, so we're talking 2019?
We just watched episode 7. Episode 8 has to come out first.
17
then
is
episode
next.
9.
Okay, yes. So
that's how numbers work.
Quite a while away. We've got 3 movies until then. Their production has begun.
Ooh.
And the Star Wars Han Solo film, which is in 2 years, up to this point, both Episode 7 and Rogue One have been pushed back to December. Both of them originally were slated for a May release.
I didn't think that Rogue One was first.
Yes, it was.
I guess
it was.
Okay.
Everything Disney has had all this on May releases.
Oh,
and both 7 and Rogue One have been pushed back to December.
You know what else comes out in May?
What?
All the superhero movies.
Yep. That's part of it. I think they time it. That's a big movie going time, so they time it for that. And December is always really uncertain because of the roads. Because sometimes weather can really...
You think? That's why?
Yeah, well, I mean, historically,
there's not a lot of movies that come out in December.
Other than on Christmas, there's always
there's a couple on Christmas,
couple big hits, but generally they stay away from it because of the unpredictability of being able to go to the theaters.
But I've never heard that before. I never thought about that either.
Yep.
I think that they're going to December now before hearing your statement because there's not a lot of competition in December.
That could be.
There's like 3 months, November, December, January, where people don't go see movies.
Yep.
Because nothing really comes out. So they can save all their money for Star Wars.
Yep. Well, I know when I worked at the movie theater, there were multiple weekends where...
You have an in.
Yeah, I know, right?
I forgot.
My experience when I was 16 and 17.
So much pop. Do you sell popcorn?
Huh?
What'd you do with all your extra popcorn?
Ooh, that's like one of the best perks.
Did you put them in a big trash bag?
Yep, giant, like 3 or 4 foot trash bag that you would fill. It was clear with popcorn. You could, like me, I had a couple of friends, and we would take it into school.
So you could take it home?
Yeah.
What happens if someone came in late and they're like, "Can I buy that much popcorn from you?"
Well, if we had closed down, then we wouldn't sell because the registers were closed.
Yeah.
And the lights were off, and we were just cleaning. So.
What if someone asked for that popcorn?
I would say no. It's mine. It's mine, my precious. Gosh, it's so good.
I worked at when I was in Boy Scouts. I worked at a college football games in the concessions. We'd also have big things full of popcorn. That obviously we'd give out to them, but big old trash bags.
Yeah.
A lot of time we just sit back there and eat them.
I like that. I love popcorn.
Good.
Popcorn is so good.
Popcorn's awesome.
Man, especially movie popcorn.
Uh-huh.
So, Star Wars Han Solo is trying... That iteration of the franchise is trying to get back to the May release. They're trying to get back on track. And the last bit of news about Star Wars is a rumor! A rumor, yes, from Reddit.
Okay.
I built it up and then I couldn't talk.
Where are you going?
Whoops. Episode 8.
7. 8?
7, 8. That's 8.
There's 3 eyes. 8.
Star Wars Episode 8. Up to this point, the only title we've heard is Space Bears, which is its hidden, secret title. It's like the working title they use for all the film buying stuff. They're like, for Space Bears.
See, I don't understand why they announced that. I don't know if that's the actual name for it.
Well, it's not the actual name for it. That's just like the filler title.
No, I mean, that's not. I don't think that's the actual secret name for it.
Oh.
Because the reason why they have secret names is so that when they buy production, when they rent out space,
nobody knows.
Nobody knows what it is.
Yeah.
But when they announce that it's Space Bears, now everybody knows what it is.
Well, I don't think it was announced. It was just like found in a tweet by Carrie Fisher, and then like another tweet by Mark Hamill.
I feel like.
I don't know if they actually announced
Maybe
it
it's
Space Bears, but that's what's been going around the internet. So
I don't know. I've heard a lot of it. I don't know if that's true or not. I hope it's not true, because it makes production hard when you have fans coming up all the time.
I would like to be duped, and I think
I love being duped.
I'm duped quite often, but that leads me to being duped. That what I'm about to announce, the rumor, might be a big dupe. It could be a conspiracy of the interwebs. I'm being ridiculous.
So go ahead and announce it.
The title of the film, the official title of the film, might be from a release on Reddit, Tale of the Jedi Temple, which I think is a terrible name.
Thank you, because I think that's awful.
I know. That's why I'm hesitant to believe.
I think sounds nothing like a Star Wars
Reddit
film.
is being duped, but from a Reddit user, they found a picture from a tweet of a business card.
Oh.
Looking thing that had Star Wars Episode 8 Tale of the Jedi Temple written on it. Some people...
That's like a book.
I know, it's such a bad name. It's like a bad book.
Star Wars Episode 4. Star Wars Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Star Wars Return of the Jedi. The Force Awakens. Tale of the Jedi Temple?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
That's like a kid's movie.
So what some people are thinking, and I think this is much more plausible, this is a fan film.
Yes.
That is getting some major marketing by basing this off of a rumor. That's what I'm guessing. Because there's no way that this is going to be a movie poster. Tale of the Jedi Temple.
Yeah, that'd be awful.
Seriously.
It's like
an animated movie.
That's like an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because that fits with Indiana Jones.
Because it's
Star Wars?
Temple of Doom, right? No. I can't believe this is actually it. But that's
like the longest title. Star Wars Episode 8, The Tale of the Jedi Temple. It's like the longest.
Too many syllables. Yeah, I don't think it's real, but that's the rumor that I've heard and is circulating
around
around the interwebs right now. So that's what I got.
Netflix. I watched the first 2 episodes of Fuller House.
And I watched the first episode
What
of
did you
Fuller
think
House.
of the first episode? However, before that,
yes.
Did you watch Full House when you were a kid?
I did.
Did you watch
one of
a lot
those
of it?
shows? I watched it all the time.
I remember
quite a bit
thinking when I was younger that I had seen every episode twice.
Wow.
Because it was on Nick all the time, and then they put it on ABC Family all the time.
Yeah, I would say I feel comfortable in saying that I've seen probably 80% of the episodes.
Okay. So
pretty much.
I love it. I've seen a lot. You've seen a lot.
Yeah.
What do you think of Fuller House?
There were a couple funny moments where
in the first episode.
The first episode. I felt like a lot of it they were playing just straight up on nostalgia.
Yeah.
Which is to be expected.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reboot, and it's the beginning of it. I thought it was hilarious when they called out Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Dude,
they broke the fourth wall.
They stared at the camera for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it was so
like
funny.
awkward. Bob Saget, he looks so different.
He does.
Everyone else looks exactly the same, other than
Pretty
the girls,
much.
obviously.
Yeah.
Well, specifically Stephanie, because
Stephanie looks way
DJ looks
different.
the same.
DJ looks pretty much the same. Yeah.
But Stephanie looks completely different.
She does.
Danny Tanner looks completely different.
Yeah.
John Stamos is exactly the same.
He does not look like he's aged at all.
Yeah.
Neither has Uncle Joey.
Yeah.
He looks you can tell he looks a little bit older.
He's like
I think his
56,
hairline has
56.
receded a little
Yeah.
bit. But other than that,
well,
still a goofball.
In the very first episode, they have the new intro coinciding with the old intro.
Yeah.
So it's funny because when Dave Coulier, who was Uncle Joey, he had a mullet in the 90s one. He didn't have a mullet in this one. I'm like, oh, I wish he had the mullet still.
I know. The mullet would have been sick.
That's awesome.
And then they also there's a scene where they like sing to the baby.
Yeah, that was so weird.
I know. They did it side by side.
Yeah.
They did it exactly the same. I felt like a lot of it was weird. It was a weird experience because when I watched this before, I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they had all these weird sexual jokes when I was a kid.
Yeah, I heard some of those. I'm like, what?
I was like, this is so awkward. It's such a kid show. My expectation is for this to be a kid show.
Yeah.
And they've got some pretty raunchy jokes.
I think when some of the times when they called back to previous, like the 90s version of it, specifically when they sang to the kid in the crib.
Yeah.
I'm like, that makes sense in the 90s. Now it does not.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think... I watched the second episode. They didn't really do anything like that.
Yeah, I wonder if it was just that episode.
Yeah.
Just for throwback's sake.
There's super awkward when Jesse and Rebecca are sitting on the couch and he sings Forever to her.
Yeah.
And, like, you could tell he wasn't singing it. Like, that was all recorded.
It was pre-recorded.
I'm like, this is awful.
Yeah. And everybody else sang along with it at times, and it was all, like, auto-tuned and, like... Yeah, a lot of reverb in there.
This looks awful.
Yeah. It was awkward, but it was alright.
John Stamos comes back for episode number 2.
Does it?
For a little bit.
I'm guessing that all of them are going to be guest stars from time to time.
I think all of them only have like 1 or 2 guest stars throughout the whole season.
Oh, really?
And I don't think any of them overlap other than the first episode.
Yeah.
I think they're all in 2 episodes. The first episode is obviously one.
It's probably in their contracts.
Yeah. So
they just did 2 for everybody.
I don't know. But the second episode, I didn't mind all that much.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch more of it. I'll probably give it 3 or 4 episodes, and if they completely turn me off, then I'm not going to watch anymore.
Okay.
But I think it's all right.
I feel like it's going to be the type of show that I'm going to watch while playing video games, where I'm not actually going to pay attention.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have it in the background. Yep, so that's where I'm at. So, now, the time has come. Bum, 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 for us to move on to our main topic of discussion today.
Yes.
Which is comic book movies. Which is a common theme that we talk about.
Yes.
But more specifically, Tony, what are we talking about today?
I got a letter. We got a letter.
He just got a letter.
I just got a letter.
He just got a letter. We actually know who it's from.
He sent this to our email, which is underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com,
yes.
which you can also do.
Yes.
He said, it's from Jason.
Hi, Jason.
He said, which superhero movie is the best? Taking into account box office numbers, rating, and pure awesomeness factor. Mine is a new Deadpool movie, hands down.
All right.
That's what he said. That's not what I said.
Thanks, Jason. Deadpool.
Thanks, Jason.
For the question.
For the question.
For the topic.
So the best superhero movie of all time.
Oh my goodness.
Before we did this episode,
yes.
we went through, I Googled comic book movies, or
yes.
movies based on comic books, and I specifically said based on English comic books. Whole Wikipedia page, all in alphabetical order of like 600 movies from the very first to the very end.
Too many for us to talk about.
So we didn't write that. We did write down a whole bunch of them.
We did. The ones that stood out to us as good comic book movies that we would like to discuss.
Yes.
So we've got quite a few here.
We have a list of 30.
That's like we're
maybe we'll pick and choose. I think we should go through, pick talk about some of these movies,
Yeah.
and then pick what we think is the best. I also have a list of the highest grossing films.
Ooh, I want to guess them. I want to guess the highest grossing.
Guess the highest grossing. This is adjusted for inflation.
Okay.
Just keep that in mind.
So
you want to guess like the top 3?
Yeah, I'm trying not to look right now.
So don't look.
Top 3.
I don't care where. Just guess the top 3. It doesn't matter where.
The one. It's either between Superman 1 or Superman 2, like the original 1970s ones with Christopher Reeves, because I know those things killed at the box office, and then the Batman movie with
which one?
The I want to say I can't remember the time. It's the one with it's like the 80s one with what's his name?
Everyone, Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson, yeah, the one with the Jack Nicholson.
I think that's 89. I think it's 89 Batman.
One. And then I'm gonna guess the Avengers.
Okay.
Tell me how I did.
Top 3, Superman 1978.
Crushed it.
Adjusted for inflation, made $1.8 million. Avengers, number 1.
That's $1 billion.
Oh, you're right. That's not decimal.
Yeah, that's $1 billion.
$1.8 billion. Avengers, the first one made $1.7 billion.
Crushed it.
The Dark Knight made
took me.
$1.6 billion. And then Batman 1989,
was
$1.6 billion.
So Dark Knight was the one I messed up on there.
You just missed it. But then after that, it's Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3. Iron Man 3, ironically.
Yeah, that's weird. I feel like that's the least accepted out of the Iron Man series.
Dark Knight Rises, Superman 2 from the 1980.
Okay.
Batman Forever, Batman Returns. Wow. Those both beat Iron Man number 1.
Wow.
X-Men 2, X-Men United.
Nice.
Iron Man 2, X-Men The Last Stand, The Amazing Spider-Man, that's the one with Andrew Garfield.
17.
X-Men from 2000, Superman Returns, Batman Begins, Man of Steel, Thor The Dark World, which I still haven't seen. Fantastic Four, Thor, and Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Interesting list.
This was posted almost 2 years ago. However, I still think the top 3 would still be the same.
Yeah.
Unless, like...
it could be shifted like one.
Guardians of the Galaxy might be a thing.
That's true.
Or not Deadpool. Deadpool hasn't been out long enough.
No, I don't think so.
It's still in the millions.
So either way, I was pretty close with my guesses. I'm pretty impressed with myself. Pat on the back. I just patted myself on the back.
Nice, because I'm not going to do it.
So, best movies. Comic book movies. For me, I'm trying to think of... my top list. I guess I really enjoyed the Dark Knight series.
Yeah.
So that's going to be up there. One of my favorites because it blew my expectations out of the water. Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought that movie was going to be crap.
That's
like when the trailers came out, I was like, "Who's excited for this movie?" It's like
the trailers are awesome.
I thought the opposite. I thought, they're trying to be funny. Like you can't be funny in a comic book movie. Little did I know, I was wrong. That series was so great.
Chris Pratt was awesome.
I know, Chris Pratt was amazing. That blew my expectations out of the water, which is why I loved it so much.
What did you talk about before Guardians? I was not listening.
Dark Knight trilogy.
Okay.
That just killed it.
Dark Knight trilogy, we don't really need to talk about because everybody has seen it.
Right.
Same with Avengers, Iron Man, Winter Soldier. Might need to talk about a little bit because I think some people lump the first Avenger with the Winter Soldier, and people think, "Oh, it's Captain America. It's not very good." Winter Soldier was awesome.
It was really good. It fought against I would guess the normal formula for a comic book movie.
Yeah.
It was a little bit different, you know.
I think I talked about this earlier before. I read an article about how the Disney Marvel movies all do so well because every single movie is a different genre of movies. Guardians of the Galaxy, humor, space, comedy, sci-fi. Yeah. Winter Soldier is like a Cold War era. I know it's not, but it's like a Cold War era mystery film.
Yeah, I mean it's classic conspiracy, espionage to an extent.
Stuff like that. So then there's action movies, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Avengers is just kind of like a mashup of everything. But
yeah, I mean the Avengers is the quintessential comic book movie.
Yes, that's what everyone wants. Right?
It is a comic book, but just in a movie form.
Exactly.
And it's perfect. Not perfect. It's 99%. I don't want to say perfect for anything, but it's
pretty good.
It's the best one that represents a comic book story. It's great.
The one most closely identified with comic books,
yes,
you'd say is Avengers,
yes,
as opposed to just the single hero movies.
Yeah, because I think
how many comic books have you read that only has one hero in it?
Right, I know all of them have mashups. That's part of the fun of it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's really good.
Guardians of the Galaxy is on here. Superman,
Yeah, just I mean, that one started it all. I'd say the 78, 79.
80. I don't know. I
think it was 79.
It was 80 or something.
It was like the first real.
The Christopher Reeve Superman.
Yeah, it started the whole thing.
Superman Curse.
It showed that it could be successful.
Yes. Some other things that we have maybe forgotten were based on comics.
Mm-hmm.
V for Vendetta.
Yeah, I forgot that it had been based on a comic. I had never read any of them, but I just really like V for Vendetta, and I watch it yearly on the 5th of November.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, seriously. It's been pretty consistent. I think I've missed a year in the last 5, but it's been pretty consistent.
300 with Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
The Spartans.
Classic.
I mean, it's based off a comic book. I think it's true.
Yeah.
It's also kind of based off.
It is. Well, it's based off the Battle of Thermopylae, and I could give you a history lesson about it, but I'll just end it right there.
Cool. Alien vs Predator.
AVP.
Big Hero 6.
I've not seen that one.
You should. It's good.
Is it?
It is good. I enjoyed it.
Tell me in 30 seconds why it's good.
There's some really good characters. There's some really strong female characters in it.
Oh, okay.
This came out around the same time as Frozen, I think.
Nice.
So it had to compete against that, which is the reason why I don't think a lot of people have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of threads online that I've seen comparing like the female characters in Big Hero 6 to Frozen, Elsa and Anna.
Oh.
And people are like, oh, they just complain and dance the whole time. But in Big Hero 6, they actually go out and do things.
Oh.
There's a really funny character named Fred. There is a really good story. I got choked up at one point.
Oh, man.
Laughed all the time.
Man.
There's the main city it takes place is it's a combination of San Francisco and Tokyo.
Okay.
And I can't remember San Francisco or something like that. That's how they pronounce it.
Wow.
I don't know. If you have the choice, if you have a chance to watch it soon, I would suggest it.
Well, based on that 30-second review, I've got to see it.
Pretty good.
Yep.
Awesome.
It made you tear up and laugh. So there it is.
Other movies based on comic book movies: Blade, Constantine, The Crow, and Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah, so...
Not all these are very good.
Yeah, I'm not really going to say anything positive about those movies.
I skipped Catwoman. Daredevil, obviously not a very good movie. Very good Netflix show.
Netflix show, Off the Boards, one of my favorites.
I'm watching it again.
Out of all the Netflix original series...
Daredevil's the favorite?
Daredevil may be my favorite. I haven't seen House of Cards. I've been waiting for a really good time to binge that.
I tried to get Emily to watch House of Cards and she backed out after like 10 minutes.
But I do like Daredevil more than Jessica Jones.
Okay. Man, Daredevil 2.
And I like it better than Orange is the New Black.
I haven't seen that.
And
what about Arrested Development?
I like it better than Arrested Development.
The third season's really the only Netflix original series.
Yeah.
The first two are made for
TV.
TV.
Well, I've only seen the first season of it, so I guess I can't really judge it off that then.
No, I can't. I'm trying to think of all the Netflix originals, and Daredevil was one of the first ones.
Yeah, there's
kind of. I mean, Arrested Development stuff like that, but
there's one I haven't seen yet. There's a few I haven't seen yet, but there it is. Fantastic Four.
House of Cards I've seen up until the third season.
What do you think?
The first 2 seasons were good. I watched it all. That's when I was working at a restaurant. I'd come home at like 11, 12 o'clock at night. I'd make dinner or watch like 2 episodes of House of Cards.
Nice.
And I'd wake up and watch like 4 episodes before I went to work.
That's what I'm talking about.
So it was really fun. I love Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, I heard he kills it.
He kills everything.
And I think I watched the first episode of it, and it took me aback that they broke the fourth wall. Like, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, he narrates.
Yeah, he narrates a lot, and that kind of like surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't really get into it. But I also was watching a lot of West Wing at the time. And West Wing...
They don't. I
So,
haven't seen it.
Okay, West Wing is like a 90s like political drama.
Okay.
And it's like really optimistic and positive about how, yes, it's broken, but we can still make change and like we can fix it. And that's like the opposite of House of Cards. So it was like really weird. I couldn't take that transition.
Yeah.
But I think I'm ready now.
I would suggest House of Cards, at least for the first 2 seasons. Deadpool obviously just came out. We talked and reviewed that last week.
So if you want our thoughts of that, you can watch that.
Fantastic Four, as we just talked about, the first 2 were all right. The last one, Fan-Four-Stick.
Fan-Four-Stick.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ghost Rider 1 and 2. It's on there.
Man.
Nick Cage.
Do we need to even say anything else?
I don't think so.
Nicolas Cage.
Pass. Green Lantern.
Actually, this is one of those things where I like that movie and no one else does. But that's okay.
Why do you like it? What about it? 30-second review.
I really like the Green Lantern, and I like the focus on the willpower thing. How... I know, it sounds so dumb.
That's it.
I just really like the Green Lantern, and I'm glad that he finally got a movie.
Maybe we'll get a better one. Oh, we didn't write down Green Hornet, but that should be on here too.
Yeah, it should.
The Hulk movies.
All bad.
There have been much better video games than Hulk movies. Hulk Ultimate Destruction we talked about before.
We have talked about that one.
So much fun.
You really enjoyed that game.
Oh, you've never played it,
I have not. I mean, I think I've played it before, but I've never owned it.
If you can rent it on PlayStation Now, rent it for like a day and just go around and blow. It takes like $2. Just blow
I definitely should.
The Hulk. If they make a new Hulk movie with
Mark
Ruffalo right now.
Oh yeah,
and they did like Planet Hulk or World War Hulk.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
I mean, so far, I think he's the best Hulk. And I don't know if that's just because he fit really well into the Avengers stories. But just as a character, like, I mean, I didn't like the original Hulk movie they came out with.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came out with the Edward Norton one.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like Edward Norton made a good Hulk.
How come?
There's something, his character wasn't, I didn't feel like I could connect with him very well. Like, the Mark Ruffalo character, he seems very personable. Yeah. Like, when he's not the Hulk, obviously.
Right.
But Edward Norton, he was just really standoffish. And I don't know if that was just the story he was in, or if that's maybe his real character, but I like Mark Ruffalo better because he's more charismatic.
Also, the Mark Ruffalo Hulk is the one most resembles the Bruce Banner. Like, it looks like him.
Yeah.
Which I think also kind of ties into it. Like, I can relate to the Hulk because I relate to Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Jonah Hex in Judge Dredd. You remember Jonah Hex?
I have not seen Jonah Hex, but Judge Dredd I've seen.
That's an R-rated movie, I think.
It is?
No. I think it was PG-13 in the United States, but it was R everywhere else.
What?
Jonah Hex. No, Judge Dredd.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure the original Judge Dredd is R.
No, the remake is what I'm talking about.
No, I think the remake is R too. Because I remember seeing it.
I don't know where.
In theaters, and there's definitely a scene that I was like,
ooh. It got a 5.4 on IMDb. It is rated R.
Yep.
Oh, no, this is the original one with
The original Stallone is... I mean, it's one of those classic movies that you kind of just got to see at one point in your life, but it's really not that
The original one?
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
I mean, it's Stallone.
Do you know when the other one came out?
2013?
2012, it says.
12?
There we go. What is this one? This one's also rated R.
Yep.
Interesting. But it got a higher score.
It did, a 7.
Okay. I'll take it. Oh, The Raid. So good.
So, Judge Dredd is a comic book series. Kingsman. I've not seen that one.
Kingsman: The Secret Service. I did not like it. I rented it. I heard a lot of good things from it. I got it from Redbox. Tried to watch it. It's like it takes place in the UK. It's all British people. Samuel L. Jackson's in it. I feel like they make fun of English people all the time.
Yeah.
Like, there's one scene where Samuel L. Jackson is English, who has a lisp. It's really weird. He brings, like, a really fancy Englishman over for dinner, and I feel like this is when they make fun of America, when Sam Jackson just offers him McDonald's. Like, it's like a platter of McDonald's. I'm like, that kind of hurts. That kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. And there's also another one where there's a scene, which is a really good fight scene, in a southern church, in, like, the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
And they're just, like, preaching all this, like...
Crazy
Essentially, it's Donald Trump up on the preacher stand.
Oh,
talking.
how exciting.
Yeah.
Donald Trump and McDonald's. So if you listen and you're not from the United States, we don't eat McDonald's every day.
It's true.
That's not a real thing. I don't know if I've had McDonald's in the last 2 months. Maybe once.
I don't remember the last time I had McDonald's.
It's probably been... I probably ate McDonald's like 3 times last year. Maybe. So, I don't eat there all the time. And also, we're not all Donald Trumps.
Right. It's just... I don't know. It was a fun movie, I think. It was pretty fun. I feel like it dragged on for a little bit, and there's some really, like, wow, that's not realistic type thing.
Yeah.
But, watch it if you want.
There it is.
One of my all-time really enjoyed movies.
Yeah, which I really enjoyed this movie too, and I've read up reviews and seen things, and
people were like, "This is awful."
Yeah, they're like, "This is a terrible movie," and I was like, "No,
I love this movie.
It's not a terrible movie."
This movie is League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yes, with Sean Connery.
That's right.
I love this movie.
Dude,
I thought it was probably because I was a kid.
But this is like the alternate history type thing that I really like.
Yeah.
It kind of fits in with like Constantine. So there's like Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, there's Tom Sawyer, there's whoever Sean Connery was in that.
There's the Thousand Leagues Under the Sea guy.
Yeah. Captain Nemo.
Yeah, Captain Nemo.
I think Sean Connery is literally just Sean Connery.
I mean, he essentially is. He's another character, but he's himself. He plays himself.
Dude, definitely suggest watching this movie.
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
So much fun.
I loved the Jekyll and Hyde.
Yes.
Because you could...
The way he transformed.
Yeah, and just the inner conflict. He has so much inner conflict in the movie. They really played on that a lot. So I enjoyed that movie, and I know a lot of people probably don't disagree with us, and that's okay that you disagree with us, but we're right. And you're not going to be on this podcast. So.
Write in and tell us why. If you want to be on the podcast, write in.
There it is.
And tell us why you don't like the league, or tell us why you do like the league.
I would say, in our description, I said, send us hate mail. And we haven't had any yet.
We haven't had any hate mail. Where's the hate mail at?
Yeah, people, we're calling on you, our viewers, our listeners.
Some more movies based on comic books that you might not know of. The Mask with Jim Carrey. Men in Black with Will Smith. Richie Rich.
Yeah, we were so surprised.
What is this? That's based off a comic? An English comic? Richie Rich and then Richie Rich's Christmas Wish. I do love Richie Rich.
I do.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah, that one was, I feel like it was edited to be like a comic book.
Yeah. But I think it's also based off of one.
Yeah,
the Punisher movies, I don't think are very good, but he's going to be in Daredevil 2, Season 2.
So hopefully they'll make him good in that, just like they made Daredevil good.
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man. We've talked about that plenty of times. Because it's like Tony's favorite thing in the world.
Thor. Like I said, I haven't seen The Dark World.
Yeah, I have.
And then X-Men movies, which we've talked about earlier today.
Again.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We can talk about the old 90s ones, or we can talk about
the newest one?
The new ones with Michael Bay.
Right. Man, I just watched...
I haven't seen the new one, so I really don't care.
You haven't seen the new one?
I saw a side-by-side comparison about how the new one, Michael Bay's new one, is exactly the same as Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield.
I disagree.
With what?
That statement. It's the same as Andrew Garfield's?
Spider-Man's? Yeah, like...
Because I liked Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, and I didn't like Michael Bay's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Essentially, the video was that Michael Bay copied Spider-Man.
Oh.
So...
Maybe.
It makes sense that you would like one and not the other.
I suppose.
Like verbatim, the last final scene, like, there's a giant thing in the air that's trying to release a whole bunch of gas or whatever.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I could see that. I mean...
I'll show you the video.
I could see that, and in the plot, it's very similar. I just... The casting, the screenplay, the dialogue just is really bad. I didn't like it that much.
So you're not excited for the second one?
I'm not really excited. I don't even want to see it.
No.
It suffers from the classic Michael Bay problems. Which makes me think there's the epic rap battles of history, which I love that. Where they have... It's like Alfred Hitchcock versus... who is it? Steven Spielberg. But it ends up being like a bunch of different directors are in it. Okay. And Michael Bay's in it. And it makes fun of him a lot. And I think it's exactly all the reasons why I don't like him. So if you're interested in why I don't like him, watch that epic rap battle of history.
Watchmen, I am currently watching right now. I have the uncut version of it. It's like 3 hours and 45 minutes long. Yeah. I've been watching it literally for a week. I watched 1 hour.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how boring is it?
It's not that boring if you pay attention to it, especially since I haven't seen it in so long. But there's just a lot of stuff in it. There's just so much, especially for characters I don't know very well.
Yeah. I know I have a teacher friend and a few friends growing up who read the graphic novels, and they really appreciated the movie. Yeah. I feel like I've seen the movie, and I have not read the novel, and I've heard that it's a really great novel, but I didn't like the movie. And I wonder if it's just the lack of experience with it beforehand, but the movie alone, I was not that impressed.
There's some good fight scenes in it. I think it's too long to be enjoyable type of thing.
I could see that.
What else on? Wanted with Angelina Jolie and that guy.
I've not seen that movie.
Really?
I know there's a bullet that gets moved
bullets?
around.
More than just one bullet. It's how they shoot the gun. Essentially, they fling their arm, and however that makes the bullet rotate and
momentum.
It goes around. I don't know. It's actually not that bad.
Okay.
What else is on here? I think that's essentially our list.
That's our list. So out of this whole list,
what are the best?
What are the best? I would definitely say the Dark Knight trilogy is up there.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
You can't just say 3 movies.
Okay. I would say...
And obviously you're going to
I like Batman Begins a lot.
More than The Dark Knight?
No. But I think Batman Begins...
You're going to say it's more influential?
I would say it's more influential. Man. Because I feel like it restarted the superhero craze for it to be serious.
Jason wants to know... He wants to take into account box office numbers, rating, and pure awesomeness factor.
Okay. So Dark Knight.
Dark Knight was rated higher.
I'll use the cliche answer because it is really good.
It's not cliche. It's really good.
I don't think
we're agreeing that this is the best comic movie of all time, but it's in the running.
I would say it's in there. It has to be mentioned.
Spider-Man 2. Surprise, surprise.
Well, Tony's opinion, I don't think it is.
Well, you don't know a lot about Spider-Man, and you haven't watched it in a long time.
your opinion doesn't matter.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying your view might be changed.
Out of the Tobey Maguire ones, I will agree it's the best. Spider-Man 2 is the best out of those old ones.
Spider-Man 1, super influential to the superhero genre.
Yeah, definitely a breath of fresh air for that.
I think this is gonna be an interesting topic.
Uh-oh.
Which movie do you think was more influential to the comic book movies? Spider-Man 1, Tobey Maguire.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man, 2008.
Who?
Marvel Phase 1 versus...
Oh, definitely Marvel Phase 1 then.
Yeah.
If we're taking the whole phase into consideration.
Iron Man was the first movie in the Marvel Phase 1.
True.
Other than like the Hulk movies, which are canon.
I mean, I would say Iron Man. And this goes back to our constant battle between Iron Man and Spider-Man. But...
Which might be fleshed out in Civil War.
Huh?
Which might be fleshed out in the Civil War movie.
It might.
Hopefully.
It may come to a head. Hopefully Spider-Man. I hope Spider-Man's like a major character. I don't think he will be, though.
Do you know what happens in Civil War between Spider-Man and Iron Man?
I know he switches sides.
Iron Man, tries to kill him. Tries to kill him.
Right, but I don't think the movies are going to be super
be.
reflective of the actual story. So
you think Iron Man is more... Which one? You think Iron Man is more influential to the current comic book movies of today?
Yes.
Interesting. I would...
Because I feel like this is my perception of Spider-Man.
Okay.
So the
of the movie
Tobey
itself,
Maguire,
not of the character.
Not of the character. No, this is like the impact on...
The impact this movie
movies. Had. Yeah. So like the first Spider-Man movie...
Okay.
Tobey Maguire was in...
Yep.
Was like a fresh... Like breath of fresh air, that's the way I want to describe it, for comic book movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about like early 2000s, right?
Yeah, I'm checking.
It spawned...
it was 2002, so this was 6 years before Iron Man.
Yeah. I would say, like, if I'm trying to remember the other movies that came out around the same time. Like, I know, when did Spawn come out? Like, I feel like a bunch of comic book movies came out after Spider-Man, because Spider-Man had a lot of success.
Daredevil was one of those.
Yeah, Daredevil, Elektra, Blade, like, all these movies we've talked about from that time period.
The Spawn movie came out in 1997.
Okay, so I'm totally off on Spawn.
I
just remember Spawn being so bad, so... when was Daredevil?
Daredevil was 2003, so the year after.
Yeah.
But they would have had to film beforehand.
True.
But then every spin-off of Daredevil, Elektra, and The Punisher.
Yeah, I just didn't like any of those superhero movies. I feel like all those fizzled out in failure.
Right.
With the only series in that phase of comic book movies being the Spider-Man movies that were successful.
Oh, the X-Men movies were around the same time.
True. But this is also when X-Men is like the first one and the second one were good, and after that it was just bad. And I don't know how that correlates in timing. I just feel like the Spider-Man movies, it made me really excited for comic book movies, but then everything else failed around it.
Well, you don't think anything happened after that?
But I feel like it kind of puttered out until Iron Man 1 came out, restarted everybody's love for it. Because, first off, Robert Downey Jr., it was a big risk hiring him, and he paid off real well. I think he revitalized superhero movies and started this huge trend that we're in.
Yeah.
So, I would say Iron Man had the bigger effect because of the success of the effect. I suppose.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
do you think Iron Man could have been a movie if it wasn't for Spider-Man starting everything? And for putting Marvel on the map? Spider-Man 2, as we looked on the highest grossing films, was one of the highest grossing films.
It was very successful. I just think, in terms of today, Iron Man has had a bigger effect because the Marvel comic universe was started with that. The way that we know it today. So, like, the ending scene. Like, you wait, like, now everybody waits to the end of a Marvel movie because they want to know what happens next because Iron Man started all that.
Did Iron Man start that?
I think so.
Because I remember the ending scene of that. I don't remember if it was before that or after.
I believe it was the end of that scene because he's like Iron Man.
Well,
they say we need help with something.
Well, they hinted at that's when Nick Fury was there.
Yeah,
and he said he wanted. They hinted at a bigger universe.
Yeah,
which I guess could be argued that Iron Man started the bigger universe, but
right, and that's kind of how I've been taking it. Not saying that I don't want to argue about the whole Spider-Man better than Iron Man thing, because we've talked about that enough times. But I think in terms of impact, this started, like, Iron Man movie started the modern, current Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU that we know. And that started it, and it culminated with Avengers.
I think Iron Man might have been a catalyst.
True.
That sent it to where it is today.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
But I could say that Spider-Man started it.
See, I don't think it's a direct cause, though. I think it contributed to the situation, to the environment that led to that, because there was a market for. I mean, you could say. I mean, it didn't have to be Spider-Man. It could be any movie. I guess you could say the same thing about Iron Man. But it led to the environment being right.
Yeah.
Because it showed that there was a market for comic book heroes.
That's interesting.
But I don't think it's a direct correlation.
That's interesting because Spider-Man is the most popular Marvel hero.
True.
Iron Man, as you read earlier, was a B-list hero before the movie came out.
Right, the opinion of somebody on the internet that I
read. So that's an interesting point because they used this most popular superhero and made 2 movies
that were good.
We don't talk about 3.
Yeah, 3 didn't
exist. They
exist.
made 2 movies that are really good.
Yep.
2 much better than 1. Spider-Man 2 much better than Spider-Man 1.
Yep.
And with a super popular hero, which grossed more money than Iron Man or whatever. But with Iron Man, they used a B-list hero.
And they made him, I feel like now he's an A-list hero. Like, you can't talk about Marvel without talking about Iron Man now. But before, you could.
Which is also 2 movies, where the third one's very good. Iron Man 3 is not very good.
But I think Iron Man 3 is better than Spider-Man 3.
Yes.
I think Iron Man, it's like, generally, it's entertaining. There's nothing to write home about.
Okay.
But it's like, all right. Like, Spider-Man 3 is bad. There are parts of that movie I cringe at. Like the whole dark side thing when he's like walking around being a bad boy. Like, I just cringe.
No. They're both on the list for...
They're both very impactful.
Let's see. Avengers, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
As we've talked about, this is the most comic book movie we've seen.
It's like the quintessential comic book movie.
Deadpool was very close to comic book origins, too.
Yeah, which I don't have a lot of authority in this because I haven't read Deadpool, but I would agree with what I understand.
I don't think the Deadpool movie is the best.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Of superhero movies, of comic book movies, I don't think Deadpool. I think it can be part of the conversation, but I don't think it's number 1. Based on ratings, based on the stipulations that Jason gave us, which is ratings, box office numbers, and pure awesomeness factor.
Right, and we also Deadpool's not done with his run yet, though.
Yeah, he's not.
I don't know if we can really talk about box office numbers.
That's true.
We have 2 weeks now, I guess.
What Guardians of the Galaxy is your favorite? What movie, if we want to talk about pure awesomeness factor, which comic book movie, which scene do you remember that like just made your jaw drop? You're like, I can't believe that just happened. I'll think of one right now. A lot of mine come from the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
When Captain America is giving orders to everybody, and he's like, what does the Hulk do? He just says, Hulk smash. And he just transforms. Dude. Or when he's like, I'm always angry. Yeah. And he transforms and punches the thing.
It's so good. Right?
So
that was such a good moment.
So like
everybody has their job and like they're just going around
in the circle, and it has the first picture where all of them are together. Yeah. But there's also a scene in Winter Soldier, the elevator fight scene.
I actually thought that.
Which is incredible.
When you said that, I was like, man, the elevator scene is really good in Winter Soldier.
What about Dark Knight? What happens? What scene in Dark Knight? I remember one that comes to mind is all has to do with the Joker.
Yeah, I know.
So it's not.
I keep going. So that's
part of the movie, but it's like when he makes the pencil disappear.
Yeah, that's
when he's fighting him.
I like it
when he burns the money.
Yes, I just want to see the world burn.
Yeah. But that's all Joker. That's not Batman. But if we're talking about the movie in general, then that's fine.
I like a scene in the Dark Knight Rises. Mm-hmm. I think the whole the climbing of the pit.
Really?
Yeah, like when he jumps without the rope, like that was a big deal. Also, I mean, okay, I agree. I agree that it's a point. Like, it's one of the most memorable parts of the movie.
It's just, they foreshadowed that for so long.
They do.
Before it happened. Like, obviously, he's not going to have the rope all the way there.
Yep. True.
So, it wasn't a surprise.
Yeah.
Type thing.
It wasn't, but it was an important moment. And then also when he's, like, outside the bank or, like, the Wall Street area of Gotham, and everybody's fighting, and then him and Bane just, like, see each other, and everybody around them is fighting, and they're just, like, staring each other down for a second. Yeah. I was like, ooh. Good stuff. Good stuff. And then also... one of my favorite scenes in The Dark Knight is when the Joker is like, ooh, you want to play? You want to play? And then, like, Batman's coming on his motorcycle.
Is that with a knife?
Yeah.
He has a knife, I think.
Maybe not.
No, he has the Tommy gun. He has a machine gun.
Yeah, he's just, like, shooting randomly.
Yeah.
That scene, I love
when he flips over the semi-truck?
Yeah.
That was all practical effects.
Gosh.
I think. Ugh. I'm pretty sure that was all practical effects.
I love The Dark Knight trilogy. So, that's pretty good. Dark Knight Rises.
And then, is there anything in Iron Man? I remember the Iron Man suit in Iron Man 2. The briefcase suit.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Legit. That's one of the good transformations.
Legit. In the first one, I feel like Man, I can't think of a specific. It's been a while since I've seen the
first one.
I feel like there has to be a scene. I like. Oh yeah, the scene where he lands in like Pakistan or something, or in Iran, and he just like lands and there's all these dudes with hostages with guns to the people, and then he just like his shoulder pad opens up and like this itty bitty thing comes out, and then it just like shoots all of them in 1 second. Like, I was like, dude, that's so cool. It made him so cool. Oh man,
the Jericho missile was sick. That's like the first like 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, that was a cool scene.
I again talk about Spider-Man, not Spider-Man Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man Andrew Garfield, which is not part of our list, but the first person web swinging is one of my favorite comic moments.
Yeah.
When he's just going through and web swinging and all this stuff, I'm like, this is so cool.
I can also see with the Garfield movies when in the second one when she's falling and he tries to save her, like the slow motion and like the agony, like you know, like it's foreshadowed pretty heavily, and I know Spider-Man Blue talks about it a lot.
Just history of Spider-Man.
Yeah, just history of Spider-Man. So
that's
pretty sad.
So what else? There's some things in Iron Man, but it took us a while to think of them.
Yeah.
We came up with a lot of things for Dark Knight. Avengers has some really good stuff. But
it's
essentially all at the very end when they fight each other. Because when they fight with each other, there are some good
once
scenes.
Once they've gotten over all their problems.
There's some good scenes when they first fight each other, Thor and Captain America and Iron Man. Yeah. That's the first one you're like, who's better?
Yeah.
And they're like evenly matched.
I love it.
Guardians of the Galaxy, I can't necessarily think of anything.
Oh man, I loved it. Well, when Groot sacrifices himself.
Okay.
But then he doesn't. But he does. Yeah. At the time, you think he
I don't remember a lot from Guardians of the Galaxy.
How long ago have you seen it?
I saw it with you in theaters.
Okay.
So however long ago.
It's been a long time. It's been like a year and a half.
Yeah.
No, I would say when Groot sacrifices himself, like I like teared up a little bit. I was like, oh. And then at the very end when they all get together and have the Infinity Stone, like Chris Pratt's character, Star-Lord, like grabs the Infinity Stone.
Yeah, but then they're all singing and dancing. I feel like that was funny in the moment. When I think back on it, I'm like, that kind of ruins it. Like when he's singing to the villain.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm not thinking of that part. I'm thinking of like the special effects when he actually grabs it. And
when
he's
they
like
all
dying and they all like get together. I was like, oh,
friendship.
It saves everyone.
I don't know. I like Guardians of the Galaxy, but I can't think of any specific.
I feel like a lot of it though is just the humor. Like you love the characters.
Yes. So for me,
what's your number one?
I think it's between The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And Avengers.
Okay.
I have seen The Dark Knight multiple times. I've seen Avengers once, and I remember a lot from Avengers.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I would remember a lot from Dark Knight if I hadn't seen it multiple times.
Okay. So are you saying that the Avengers is like a little bit better, or like maybe edging a little bit?
I think based on. Actually, I don't know about rating for these, but based on box office numbers, rating, and pure awesomeness factor, I think Avengers edges out Dark Knight. Because there are some awesome scenes in the Avengers. It takes a while to get up to them, but there's some awesome scenes. Box office numbers. Obviously, Avengers beat Dark Knight 2.
Yeah.
Dark Knight. Rating we can go into, but...
Yeah, I think this rarely happens, but I think I might actually have to agree with you. Because I thought when you're going through it, I was like...
the world
as we know it. Yeah, The Dark Knight, I would say is good. But Avengers, based on what he said... what Jason told us to do, which was box office rating and pure awesomeness factor. Dark Knight's awesome, but the Avengers is more awesome and has better scenes.
Yes.
Dark Knight is darker.
I don't know if they have better scenes, but they're more memorable scenes. Not even more memorable, but I have only seen it once, and I remember more scenes than I do from The Dark Knight.
Wouldn't that be the definition of memorable?
I guess so.
I feel like the Avengers has more memorable scenes.
But as we've been talking about this whole episode, The Avengers is the quintessential comic book movie.
Yes. Dark Knight is good.
Dark Knight is good. I mean, there are some cameos in Dark Knight of other heroes and other villains.
Yeah.
But not like in Avengers.
Yeah.
This is like, and the impact that it had and how much it took to get there. The Dark Knight, one movie before it.
There was so much build-up.
Yeah.
For years, like anticipation.
Since 2008.
Yeah.
Since Iron Man, the end scene, as we talked about.
Yeah.
Then they had to do Captain America.
And
then they had to do Thor.
Every end scene built into it.
Into the
You were
Avengers,
like so excited for it when it finally came. And now they're slowly building up for the last Avengers movie.
Yeah. Infinity Wars. But also, let's talk about villains for a second. Most popular DC villain.
Joker.
Who do you think?
No, Joker.
Joker. Most popular Marvel villain. Is it Loki? No,
No,
not at all.
Not even close.
It would be like Doctor Doom.
Yeah, maybe.
Or
Dr.
Magneto.
Doom.
Or someone like that.
Yeah, I agree with both those.
So, or like the Green Goblin or someone from Spider-Man,
Yeah,
just because he's so popular.
Yeah.
But like,
Dr. Rock.
they used. I love Doctor Octopus. Mysterio is my favorite. They used a Loki who I didn't even know who Loki was when I went to the Avengers. I'm like, who is this?
I only knew him from like mythology. I didn't know he was an actual Marvel character.
Yeah. So, but he fit in, and he's been in so many movies since then.
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston did a great job.
Yeah.
So they're not working with less because they had all the heroes that had already been built up.
True.
But the Dark Knight, you could argue that the Dark Knight had less to work with. But it also came out at a different time.
A different time, and I think it's trying to do something different. Like the Avengers is a very specific project.
Do you know the Dark Knight came out in 2008? The same year as Iron Man?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That makes sense to me.
If someone asked me, I would not have said yes. I knew that.
I mean, it's been out for a long time. Like, the Dark Knight trilogy was over. When was it? I don't know. When was the Dark Knight over? Was it 2010? Is when
probably
Dark Knight Rises came out.
Avengers came out in 2012, and we want to talk about ratings real quick. IMDb gave the Avengers 8.1.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it 92, and Metacritic gave it 69.
69%. Are you serious?
The Dark Knight.
That's so low.
IMDb gave it 9. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 94, and Metacritic gave it 82.
So Dark Knight has better reviews.
Almost barely. Rotten Tomatoes was similar between the two of them.
I know, but Metacritic is drastically different.
And Metacritic is drastically different. That's true.
And IMDb is slightly. Well, I mean, it's almost a full point better.
Mm-hmm. So based on ratings, however, I still think I would still give out Avengers more so than.
Yeah, and I think just because of how it represents comic books.
Yes, so much fun.
It's fun. It's good.
And Scarlet.
It's exciting. It tried something that hadn't been done before, like really well, bringing together all these major characters who had their own movies and had.
That's really interesting because the Avengers had all these superhero characters that were already defined. They didn't really have that many great actors. The Dark Knight had incredible actors.
Yeah.
It had Heath Ledger, Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Gary Oldman, and Morgan Freeman.
Right.
Some great actors.
Yeah.
Whereas the Avengers had like Robert Downey Jr., who wasn't really anything before Iron Man.
I mean, no, he had a career, but it wasn't like
amazing. Morgan Freeman,
and he's probably the only one on there who is a major.
Other than Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, other than her, and a lot of it's come since she was in the Avengers.
Yeah, a little bit. Chris Evans didn't really have anything. Chris Hemsworth wasn't really doing much, and Mark Ruffalo. When was the last thing you saw him in?
Like some love movie.
Yeah.
Some romance, rom-com.
So,
man,
do we agree?
I think we agree.
Based on the criteria that we were given,
that's our opinion. If you disagree, or if you do agree, or if you'd like to just contribute to the conversation, then please send us an email at underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com.
He was at 13 going on 30. Mark Ruffalo was.
Yep, that's why I said rom-com.
That's the one I was.
That's the one I was thinking. If you
in Zodiac too. That's
want to tweet at us at UP Gamers Podcast.
That's right. So what's the email?
Underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com.
What's the Twitter?
At UP Gamers Podcast.
At UP Gamers Podcast.
Yep.
Reach out to us there. We'd love to get emails, letters, and read them and go over things like this. Yeah. This was fun.
This is one of our favorite things to do. We love community.
That's right. So you can rate us and review us on iTunes. That helps us so you can reach out to people better.
True.
Like and share us if you would. We'd like to, like we said, we'd love to build a community.
Mm-hmm.
That's the email. That's the Twitter.
SoundCloud, yo, get on it.
SoundCloud and iTunes are always free downloads of our episodes.
Oh yeah.
So go ahead and do that if you like it.
We have a Facebook group.
Don't even have to download it. Just listen to it. We have a Facebook group. Just join that. I think it's just Underpaid Gamers Podcast, right?
Yep. You can just search that on Facebook and we're discoverable, so you can find it. And
so,
I linked it into our SoundCloud profile.
That's right.
You can click on there.
Hey. If you ever see us around the internet, it's probably just be under the Underpaid Gamers.
You'll see our title. Sticky note logo.
There you go. Sticky note logos all over the place.
We have a website with one blog post.
Hey.
And 2 writers. Hey. But only one post, so I'm the only one who's posted anything.
How's that going?
Yeah. Well, I'll talk to the other writer.
It's not me.
It's not
Spoiler
Tony.
alert.
Tony, if you want to write on it,
No,
feel free.
I'll stick to
But
Twitter.
you've been really hashing out our other project, which we haven't mentioned
Oh.
ever. I feel like we've been talking
Into
about it,
that.
but not for like a month.
Well,
Months.
there are some things that I need from you before. we get into it.
So I'm the one blocking the announcement, so I'll go ahead and end it there.
Okay. Who knows what our episode's going to be next week?
We
We'll
don't.
figure it out. Send us a letter. Maybe
It'll
you'll
happen.
be the episode.
That's right.
Maybe we'll just sit and talk about things. Maybe we'll talk more about Fuller House.
Doesn't that describe what we do every week?
Yes.
Just talk about some things.
We are 3 weeks away from Daredevil Season 2.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
And then after that, Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah.
And
we'll talk
then
about that for sure.
um,
For sure. When does Uncharted 4 come out?
Civil War. It comes out in April.
Okay, so we still got some time.
Yes. So we're gonna have to do Daredevil Season 2 episode. We're gonna have to do Batman vs. Superman episode. We're gonna have to do an Uncharted 4 episode.
Yeah, those
we're
are all
gonna have to
coming.
do 2 Uncharted 4 episodes. 1 predictions and 1
After we play it.
yes. And there's also gonna be a Civil War.
Yeah, and sometimes with the movies, we record it. If we see it together, sometimes we record a before and after. So that might happen. Who knows?
Oh yeah,
We're not committing to that. But it's happened in the past.
it might happen. Who
It
knows?
happened with Star Wars, so it's
Yeah,
really
it did.
what we feel at the time.
Yeah, it
so.
did. So
And that's it. That's all I got.
that's right.
You want to say goodbye?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Jinx.
Bye.
You can? Okay. Adios, muchachos.